I ain't gonna need no water. Oh, need some water. What plant did I say I wanted to look at? Okay, y'all stay there. Two plants. I need to. I don't know. Maybe I won't redo that one. Maybe I'll just leave it like it is. But I do have one. Okay. This the one we need to revamp. I looked at that stem. It looked kind of strange. We got dead folks up in here. It's a lot of stuff. Oh, wow. That's gone. What's that? What was that? We got a piece of jade. I was like, what is wrong with his back? But I guess this is one of those lights. I don't think he ever lit up though. I don't think he ever. Was I supposed to put a battery in there? I don't know. Getting cleaned up a little bit and get some of these plants out of here that are not doing well. This is dead. Yeah, I don't know what happened to a lot of these. Clean up some of these spider webs. Actually, this is not a bad plant, but it's just so big. Do I really want it to stay in here? Mm. Is this a jelly bean? I can't tell what that is. I don't know if it's a jelly bean or. Oh, that piece broke off. I'm gonna put it in a pot because it's got some roots. Man, this aeonium is so big. I'm really thinking about cutting it. But I'm like, should I cut it in a few places? Is this the wrong time of year to cut it? to dig some of this up. Mm. Okay, two choices. I can put this in another pot. Let's get some of these spider webs off of here. I can put another piece of jade in there. Break this piece of jade in half. And I think if you break the jade, it will promote its growth. And my husband is about to do an ant treatment because we did see some ants. I think I am going to cut this piece of aeonium. I'm trying to get rid of some of these spider webs. And I think I'm going to move this plant. I don't think it's getting enough sun. I'm going to cut that piece of jade. I want to cut this piece of jade and replant it. Oh, they're going to ant right there. I'm sorry, buddy. But you can't live here. I'm going to cut this piece of jade. Remove some of these leaves. I don't need to propagate jade because I have so much of it. Remove these leaves. Leave that stalk there. And hopefully this will promote some growth. I'm going to put you there and add a little bit of soil. Hey, yada yada. Let me go get my dirt. Okay. Let me scooch everything over so you kind of see what I'm working with. This is what we're working with today. You don't need to see me. Let's see. Some more spider webs. I'm just cleaning things up, trying to get rid of some of these spider webs. And I don't know if you can see this aeonium. I'm going to behead her. And I'm really thinking about putting her in a pot by herself. Because her head is just so big. And she's not. Okay. Don't think about it, just do it. Beautiful plant, but she's not putting any offshoots. And usually they say if you behead it, it may put off some offshoots. So we did that. And we're going to see. I'm going to leave that stalk and see if I can get some plants off of that. But I'm going to just replant her, just her head, back in there. And I'm going to add some soil. Okay. I'm going to give her, put the gnome back in there. I'm going to give her a good watering. And which I should give her a good watering. So we've got jade. I think it's a jelly bean plant. It seems like it's two different varieties of jade in here. A jelly bean or either a golem and a one aeonium. So we're going to see how they get along. They've been together for a long time. They've been together for over a year. So they should get along fine. Is that a spider? Yeah. And I don't want you in there. They've been together for a year, so they should be fine. Let me give her some water. Okay. Now, let's get to my girl. It's time for her to have a haircut. She hasn't had a haircut in a minute. off of her. This ain't sharp enough. Some people leave those brown tips on, but I don't like them. Give her a haircut. Look like she grew a little bit. Did I repot her last year? I think I did. So these palms store water in their trunk, so they don't require a whole lot of watering. But I am gonna give her some water today because she does seem bone dry. And this is a ponytail palm tree. I don't know if you guys can see her all the way. She looks like she's getting bigger. She don't grow a lot, but I can tell she has gotten a little bit bigger. Because I think she only had 2 stalks at first, and now she has 3. And this one is definitely new because it's real small. Okay. So I'm going to let her put her out so she can get a little bit more sun. She may not be getting enough sun where she is. So I'm going to sit her out so she can get a little bit more sun and see how she does with a little bit more sun. Hey, Phoenix. But she is a pretty girl. I've been looking for another one at like Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere. As a matter of fact, when I went to the specialty store, they didn't even have any. She was like, no, we don't have any right now. I might call and see if they have any, because the cactus place that we go to is not in the same city that we live in. It's not like super far, but it's not in the same city that we live in, and I'd rather call and check before we just drive out there and they don't have any. Okay, so one thing I do want to do is this one pot that I worked on last week. I don't really like the way I did it, and I want to fix it. So I had put her in this pot, and I went to water it the other day, and it's still really wobbly, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna have to take it out and redo it. It's not centered the way I want it to be, and it's just wobbling in the pot. Every time I move the pot, it moves, and it shouldn't be doing that. And I hate to have to do this to you, girl. But you're not in here the way I want you to be. Let's try it like this. Let's try this. Let's see if this is it. Because I want it in this pot. But, okay, this may be it. Hey, Melissa. So, y'all, when does the running portion of the Olympics start? Because that's what I want to see. I want to see Sha'Carri. I want to see that. I'm really not into all that other stuff. I don't want to watch all of the Olympics. I'm selective. So when does the running start? This is still not the way I want it. This thing is just top heavy, I guess. Okay, that feels a little bit more secure. But it's definitely top heavy. The heat is starting to get to 'em. You always gonna lose some of the bottom leaves. I don't care about that as long as the top part stays green. But I want to keep her in the sun because I want to stress her out. Because when you stress her out, she gets the pink tips, and I love that color. So I don't want to give her too much shade. I don't want to burn her up. But see, the good thing is we going towards we moving towards August, September. It's not going to be as hot, but we'll still have enough sun to pinken her tips up because this is a beautiful plant. When the tips get pink, the plant is green, and then the tips are pink. It gives it like a kind of glowing effect. It's a beautiful plant. Once it, I may have to get a stake because she is just really top heavy. And she is not sitting the way I want her to sit in this pot. And I don't like it moving around. I might have to get a stake and stake her up. Because usually I can get enough dirt in there. Okay, I'm going to give it a couple of days and see how she's doing. I may have to get a rock and push it up against her. Like, I might have to order some rocks from Amazon and get a rock and push it up against her stalk to hold. Let me see if we got any rocks. We don't have any rocks in our garden. None. I'll order some. River rocks. Or tell my husband to take me over there to the park and I'll get a pine cone and put in there. That'll hold her up. Oh, it's looking better. It's looking better. But I want her to stay in this sun, so I can stress her out. So she'll get them pink tips. And then if she gets enough sun, this should open up all the way. Did y'all answer my question about the... Oh, I knew the gymnasts were gonna do good. I just had a feeling they were gonna do good. I want to see what our runners are gonna do. You know, what are we gonna do up against them Jamaicans? That's what I want to see. Okay, let me leave her alone. Did I let you stay out here? Yeah. Is that everybody? Yeah, I think I'm gonna water everybody later. I think that's everybody that I wanted to repot. hot. Oh, let's see how Annie doing. Oh, Lord. Annie, what you doing, girl? Annie done turned red. I still see spider webs, though. Annie is red. She dry again. Let me give her some more water. I don't know. She's still not shaped. She still does not look like how she's supposed to look, though. Them spider mites they did a job on Annie. Annie don't look nothing like what she's supposed to look like, and that's what bothers me. Where did you go, girl? Was you in there with the ponytail perm? You must have been. Okay, I'll put you back in there. Oh, wait a minute. She must have been in there with. So, this, does it have a name on here? Euphorbia mammillaris. This is a corncob cactus. This little thing grows so cute. It grows, if it starts to like you, it will grow so cute. And I'm like, please like me, please like me. I want mine to grow big and branch off. And these little spikies hurt? Oh no, they don't hurt. They're bendable. They not. They're not hard. They little spikies, but they're not hard spikies. Oh, I'm hoping and praying that that plant loves me, because I was looking at this lady's. Hers was so cute and unique and funny looking, and that's how I want mine to be. Okay, let me put all this extra stuff in my trash bag. So Gizmo got his new car seat, and we took him for a ride today to try it out. So there will be a regular video coming, like, a pre-record coming after this, showing you guys his new car seat. And we have to keep Gizmo in the car seat in the car, because he is one of them dogs that won't just sit down and enjoy the ride. He is all over the damn place. And I feel like any dog, really, for his safety, should be in a car seat when you're driving. That's just for your safety and the safety of your dog. In case something happens, at least he's in a restraint. He's not going to fall out the window, because I saw this lady's video, and her dog jumped out the window. He saw another dog, and he jumped out the window while the car was moving. And I'm not saying Gizmo is crazy enough to jump out the window while the car is moving, but hell, you don't know what your dog will do. Okay, so Annie don't look bad. She just don't look good. But I don't know if Annie will ever look good. You know, uh, Annie may have, Annie may be messed up for the rest of her life. Who knows? I'm praying that she's not. So that big plant is a Pan Am from Peru. And it says it enjoys low light, but this plant does not do well in low light. When I have it in low light, it won't grow. It just will not. Oh, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Putting, switching pots with this other plant. Let me put this tag back in here. I think this pot is too deep. So I'm gonna put her in something smaller. What y'all saying? I just saw something about Shakari winning a race yesterday. Her and Jamaica were neck and neck. Really? That's the only thing I want to watch is Shakari. I don't know what this is, but I think this pot is too big. And so I'm going to put it in something a little bit smaller so that I can use this pot for something else. Because this don't look like it's doing too well. And I've been pulling leaves off of this for the longest. This is some type of agave, I think. I need to order some top dressing. Yeah, this soil was saying too wet. Because this soil all down here is damp. So the pot was definitely too big. So we put her in something a little bit smaller. And she should dry out a little bit more. Yeah, that pot was staying way too wet. I need some top dressing. Okay. So definitely will not give her no water. She don't need no water. She needs to dry out. Put her in a much smaller container. She can dry out this soil. This container was too big and the soil was staying wet. So I can use that for another. I think I'm gonna put her in the back. Let her dry out for a while. I don't care that that pot has a split in it. Because eventually I'm gonna put it in a better pot. But we're gonna watch her. This has to be some type of agave or something. So we gonna watch Sister Girl. We gonna watch the little corn cob cactus. This is so cute to me. I hope it grows some more little people. They say don't overwater it. So I ain't gonna give it no more water because I gave it some water not too long ago. So I'm gonna let it dry out real good. Because if you overwater these, they will rot at the root. Oh girl, if I lay down, that's it. If I lay down, I ain't getting up. That's why I said let me take my butt outside because we had just got back from going for a ride. I said, nope, let me just put my shoes on. Let me go on back outside and do what I got to do. Because I knew if I got comfortable in the house, I wasn't going to come out here and deal with these plants. So I said, let me do this now. Let me take care of them now. Everybody else looking pretty good. You all right, girl? Yeah, you looking good. Look like she growing. She's looking good. This one of the ones I just got from that nursery. It's a Graptocetum Pinky. And the more sun she gets, the pinker she'll get. And look like her babies are coming in pretty pink. So she is enjoying the sun. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 babies. And once they get a little bit bigger, I will take them out and put, wait a minute, did I count all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Once they get a little bit bigger, I'm gonna take them out this pot and put them in their own pot, and I will have a bunch more pinkies. Graptocetus just grow and grow and grow. Once they're happy, they're in an environment where they're happy, they just grow and they get heavy. So I know I'll have to probably take the heads off, but they'll be fine. So she's doing good. Everybody look like they okay? Y'all all right? Oh, where's that one? All right. So I probably water everybody this evening. I'm not gonna water it now because the sun is too high. I'll probably give everybody some water once the shade moves over. We're still getting full sun right now. Mostly everybody is still getting full sun. So once the shade moves, I'll give everybody some water, probably about 5 or 6 o'clock this evening. I think my nephew plays. Uh, I think the championship starts today. They did make it to the championship. It starts today, so I know the family will all be tuned in to the baseball game because if they don't win, my nephew will be coming home. I think he's ready to come home too. So, we're not tripping off of that because he's been gone since May, I think. I think he left in May. So I think he's ready to come home. Go back over there, Annie. Okay. Pony, you want to stay out here for a little while? Go over there. You come here. I haven't looked at you. What is going on with you? Huh? You don't look like you growing. You look kind of sick. Is your roots coming out? No. You're not rooting. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I do need to repot you. Because you just don't look good, girl. What's the matter? What is going on, girl? You just don't look good. You have some weeds growing in there. What is the matter, girl? Don't look like you getting enough water. Maybe I should put you in another pot. Maybe I should break this plant up. I don't feel like doing all that today, though. I'm going to give you some water later. Maybe I'll move you to the shade. Maybe you just don't like all this sun. But you from Africa. I thought African plants, I thought y'all liked the sun. I think I'm going to move you to the back. I'm going to take her to the back. So the back only gets evening sun. It's shady, a lot more shade during the day. It only gets evening sun. So the sun is filtered. So I usually only put the plants back there that don't like a lot of sun or don't seem to want to tolerate as much sun. I put them in the back. And I can monitor them. It's not like I don't I monitor all my plants, but I see them. That's like the intensive care unit. I did all that and didn't put it in the bag. Tina said maybe the plant is African American. It must be. But the plant is native to Africa. But, just because a plant is native to a certain area does not mean they don't get here and get acclimated to our climate. Just because they they originate in a certain area, those plants that are raised here are mostly raised in greenhouses. So they're not used to the, heat and dropping down below 50 degrees and stuff like that. They're not used to that because they're born and raised in greenhouses where the temperature is controlled. That's why I'm really looking at this Madagascar palm that I purchased. It had been indoors the whole time. And you shock your plants by putting them outside after they done been indoors their whole life. And I don't want it to be an indoor plant. I want it to be an outdoor plant. Like I'm in California, there's no reason to raise succulents and cactus indoors. Y'all outdoor plants. I can see if I lived in a place where it snowed, yeah, you can't have cactus and succulents outside when it's snowing. You will definitely kill them. Those harsh temperatures will kill them. But it don't snow here. And it does get below, of course, it gets below 50 degrees here, but we don't get no like harsh freezes here in the Bay Area. And if they say it's gonna be a frost or it's gonna freeze or something, I just make sure I check on my plants um, beforehand. And but I ain't never had that problem. I've never had any succulents to freeze. It ain't getting, even when they be saying, oh, the temperature's gonna drop down to the 40s or the 30s, because we got some 20s last year, earlier this year. I think it dropped down to like 25 or something at night, but I ain't had no problems with the plants. I didn't, I didn't have any problems with my succulent. But I am going to purchase I don't know what they call them, but it's a cloth that if the temperatures do get bad, you lay that on top of your plants to try to cover them. Cause you can throw a sheet on them or something too. I mean, if it gets that bad, I will come out here and put something over them. But we ain't never had them type of issues. Even at one time when I was like wishing it would snow here, when they was talking about it was gonna snow, that we had some type of atmospheric pressure or something, and it was supposed to snow here. My husband said he saw something, but it wasn't sticking. Um, I didn't. My plants didn't. They didn't look any different. Everybody is looking good. I'm like really happy about my little garden. All I got to do now is rearrange my gnomes the way I want them because I want my gnomes to be more out in the forefront. Rearrange my gnomes, and that'll probably be it. I don't think I'm gonna add any more to this. To the, it's a few more cactus that I want. A few more cactus, and that's gonna be it. I want a peacock for my garden. Oh, I am gonna do an Amazon wish list for my birthday, and I am most of the stuff in there is gonna be garden stuff. Like I want a peacock. I want just some little garden animals. But I'm gonna do my Amazon wish list too. Everybody else doing their Amazon wish list. So I'm gonna throw my little Amazon wish list out there. I gotta get it together though. And put it out here so y'all can send me something for my birthday. I know y'all love me. I'm gonna be 60. I know y'all gonna send me something for my birthday. I know y'all are. If you don't do nothing but send me a birthday card, I know y'all gonna send me a birthday card for my 60th birthday. So August 1st, the first week of August, I will have my Amazon wish list. Phoenix, someone know we're not. You the main one. You gonna be the main one that's gonna send me a card for my birthday. You the main one. Talking about no, we not. Yeah, y'all will. Y'all better send me something for my birthday. Y'all better send me a card. Y'all better turn up for my birthday. I don't even know. No, I probably will be here. We'll be back for my birthday because I told my husband I did not want to be traveling for my birthday. I wanted to be at home because I want like to have my cake and stuff. And I don't want to be traveling for my birthday. I don't want to be riding back from a trip. I want to be at home. I want to be, comfortable. So we going to take the trip and then we going to come back so that I'll be home for my birthday. What she say? Because I've been stalking you. See? I knew you was going to send me something for my birthday. But I am going to do my Amazon wish list. I just got to get it together and put. It's only going to be stuff on there probably for the garden. That's the only thing I'm probably going to have on there. Because I don't really have a lot of. It's nothing. That's the best thing in the world. Is for you to get to a point in your life where you don't want no material things. You know what I mean? Where like, I don't want jewelry. I don't want clothes. I was like, you ain't gonna buy yourself a dress for your birthday? I'm like, I got them dresses in the closet that I'm probably gonna wear a dress that, I don't know, child. We gonna go, I think that Wednesday and Thursday before my birthday, we're actually gonna stay in Monterey. We're gonna stay 2 days. We're gonna go to the aquarium. We're gonna do all the things that we didn't get a chance to do at first because we hadn't found a boarding place for Gizmo. That trip that we were supposed to take, that we ended up only doing a day. We only went up there and came back. That was supposed to have been an overnight trip. But we hadn't found that place for Gizmo yet. So now that we have his boarding set, we're gonna go and stay up there. Put Gizmo in boarding, and then we're gonna stay at somewhere in Monterey and Carmel. That's the trip. Monterey, and we're going to the coast. So we're going to Monterey and Carmel by the sea. Well, it's the city of Carmel. So that's where. Well, Monterey and Carmel are kind of like next to each other. We're going to stay in Monterey, but we're going to visit Carmel. Carmel is, well, both of them, Monterey and Carmel, are seaside cities here in the Bay Area, like on the water, just like on the water, on the water. Very, you know, scenic, beautiful, touristy areas. So that's where we're gonna be, and we may come back through Santa Cruz on our way back. We were thinking about going to Santa Cruz, so we were saying we may slide through Santa Cruz on the way back, depending on what time we have to pick up Gizmo, because we have to pick him up that Friday because they are closed on the weekends. So, depending on what the time is, we may slide through Santa Cruz, but I'm not really sure. Or we may have to go to Santa Cruz on our way up there, then go to the hotel, then do what we gotta do. But yeah, that's where we're gonna stay. That's where my birthday will be. So I've had a birthday seaside in Point Reyes, California. Very nice area. But I was thinking about going back there, but I looked, and the hotel that we had stayed at in Point Reyes got some really bad reviews. Like they had mice. And yeah, people were like really upset because they had mice, and the I guess the rooms haven't been updated. The They have a restaurant on the property. The restaurant was closed. It was just a lot of bad reviews. So I was like, oh, okay, well, we won't be going back there because when we stayed there, it was nice. It was no, I mean, you could tell it was older, but that gave it, it was like kind of older, kind of quirky looking. That gave it character. But some people don't like that kind of shit. They like a more modern hotel. I thought it was quirky. I thought, the quirkiness gave it character. It was kind of older, but I wasn't really tripping off that. Now, I would have tripped off for the mice. I would not, because it wasn't cheap, because it was the room that we stayed in. When you walk down, it was only like a couple of steps, but when you walk down the steps to your room, you had a private beach. This place was nice. I mean, it was like right on the ocean, right on at Point Reyes. Like you walk out, the ocean was right there. It was like a little beachy area with sand and everything, and it told you don't swim out here. There's real water. And then the ocean. I mean, just spectacular views, beautiful place. They in Point Reyes has like whale watching area, but like I said before, you have to get there a certain time of the year. I think it was in May that you have to come to watch the whales. Beautiful area, gorgeous area. I think it's south of San Francisco, not far from San Francisco, and it's not too far from where we live. We did that 1 year for my birthday. I've had some really interesting birthdays here in the Bay Area. So did no, we went to Santa Cruz for our anniversary 1 year. Um, so this is our first time since we've been married that we have spent the night in. No, it's not. We spent the night in Monterey before. I think we went to Monterey for something, and we spent the night down there. I think this is the second time. We have been to some places in the Bay Area since we've been married. I be like, we ain't really been doing nothing, but nah, we have. We've been to some places. We've been to Half Moon Bay. We've been to Bodega Bay. We've been to some places here in the Bay Area. Hey, Amanda. So that's where we going for my birthday next month. So I am going to post my Amazon wish list because I do want y'all to send me some birthday cards. This a big one. 60 is a big one. So I want y'all to send me some birthday cards so that I can put them in my scrapbook because I want to start a scrapbook 60. You know, to see because I have a few scrapbooks with like my 50s pictures and things from my 50s. So I want to do one for my 60s. You know, places that I went in my 60s, things that I ate, projects that I worked on. I want to have a scrapbook and just have all of those things in there. Because when I think about it, I've done a lot of things in my 50s. Like, you know, we've had some good times. Some good times have been had in not just Northern California. I mean, we've been to LA. Um, as a matter of fact, I turned 50 at Disneyland. So, my 50s, I had a ball. I have had a good time. Okay, I didn't cut my locks. I had long locks. I cut my hair. I've done all type of things in my 50s. So I want to start a scrapbook and see what 60 brings. Like, what new projects will I do? I've done so many crochet projects in my 50s. Just so I can't wait to see what I do in my 60s. What new skills will I learn? What new projects will I do? What new plants will I grow? So I want to have a scrapbook. As a matter of fact, I do have one thing that I want, and it's that Sprocket printer. I'm going to tell my husband that I want that printer so that, it connects to your phone and it will print whatever, your pictures and stuff off of your phone. I had another little printer that would do that, but for some reason it stopped connecting to the Wi-Fi. So I want to try the Sprocket. I'm doing good, Princess. I want to try the Sprocket printer. I'm gonna have my husband uh, look at some videos and Google and look at the specs and stuff and see which one of these small printers work the best. Because I do want to go back into my scrapbooking because that was my thing. I was the scrapbooking queen, and I do want to go back into doing that. So that may be one birthday present that, thank you. I had to dye his hair again because my little pink is leaving. That's the only thing about this temporary dye is it don't last long. That pink washes out. I'll probably dye it again this weekend. Or I was thinking I might just let the pink come on out and try purple for a little while and see if I like purple. 60 is going to be an experimental year. I'm just going, you know, what's that old saying? You just throw it on the wall and see what sticks. I think that's what I'm going to do for 60. I'm just going to do everything that I want to do. Whatever. 60 is going to be a fun year. A thermal Bluetooth printer, faux memo printer. No, I forgot which one I had. I had one. I forgot. I can't remember the name of it. But I'm gonna have my husband look and see because these are small printers. You know what I mean? They print on that like little glossy. They print small prints. They don't print big. It's a little small pocket printer almost. So like when you go on vacation, you could take that little thing with you. If you like to scrapbook when you go on vacation, you could throw that little printer in your suitcase. It's little. That's what I want. And I think it's called a sprocket or something. I know they have them at Michael's and um, Hobby Lobby. I think it's called a sprocket, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going back in the house now because my lips is getting dry, and I didn't bring no water out here. I'm gonna come back out here later and water these plants. Plus, I'm getting hungry. So I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie and be like, I'll see y'all later, cause I always be saying that and I never come back. So I ain't even gonna lie to y'all and say, I'll see y'all later, cause y'all know I ain't coming back. Once I get comfortable, once I get comfortable, once I go in the house, wash my hands, wash my face, I take these clothes off, put on my lounge clothes, and I'm probably gonna take a nap now so I can be woke by the time it's time for my nephew to play baseball so I can watch the game with the family. My mother-in-law made it back from Vegas. She had a good time. She was out there turning it up with the rest of the family. So she made it back yesterday. She had herself a good time. Phoenix, sometimes you surprise. Every now and then I pop back in and be like, if I have something to tell y'all, if I have something to tell y'all, I will. Oh, the other day it rained. Well, it started lightning, and they had to stop the game. They stopped the game for like an hour, and then they started back up. But yeah, if it lightning, that's it. Cause in he was in South Dakota playing, and a storm came through there. They had to stop the game. I think he in Nebraska right now. I think. I think that's where he is. I think that's where the game is today. But yeah, they've had to stop the game a few times because of weather. You know, kids can't be out there playing if it's lightning. That's that's bad. And you know the people that's sitting out there in them metal stands and stuff. If it's lightning, y'all got to get up. You be looking for me, Tina, girl. I'm gonna start doing is if I come back, I'm gonna put it on a community wall. Girl, don't look for me, cause I be watching. I be somewhere with my feet kicked up, watching YouTube videos and drinking my Coke. I gotta stop drinking them Cokes. I've been on a Coca-Cola binge. I am scared of what my blood sugar looks like because I've been drinking a Coke every damn day. I am so scared right now. I'm like, oh my God, what do my blood sugar look like? I hope it's not bad. If it is, it's them damn sodas. Oh, you want a baby that's into sports? I had two boys, and only one of them really liked sports. The other one didn't. He just didn't really want to do nothing. Sometimes you get a kid that is like really, really into sports, and sometimes you have a kid that don't like to do nothing. Like my nephew, he been playing baseball since he was like 5 or 6 years old, and he just turned 20. I think he just turned 20. Some kids like sports and some don't. I don't know if I could really be I don't know if I could really be a sports mom because I be over that shit. I be like, another game? I be like, God, dog, didn't we just do this? I don't like sports like that. So I don't know if I would be able to deal with a kid that is like, truly into sports and I hate it. Maybe if my child was like really into it, I would learn to love it. But I just don't see myself really liking it and really wanting to be at every game. Oh, you pregnant with twins? When are the babies due? Do you know what the gender of the babies are? My kids was a year and a half apart, and I used to always dress them like they was twins because they just about was the same size. Because my oldest son was so little, his brother caught up with him so quick, and so I used to always dress them like twins, and they looked a lot alike. So people would always be like, "Oh, they twins? They twins?" No, they're not twins. They not twins? No, that's the baby. That's the baby? Yes. They a year and a half apart. They almost 2 years apart. And I swear, They look like twins. Oh, boy and a girl. Oh, they're due this Saturday? Do you feel like they coming? Or are you gonna get induced? Do they induce twins? Like they give you a date and you come in and you gonna have these babies on this date, or are they gonna let them come natural? Because sometimes don't they be having problems with like multiple births like that where they wanna. I mean, I know some people have twins naturally. I was like, who the hell is that? They cutting down the trees. Well, not cutting them down, but trimming the trees in our neighborhood this week. So if y'all hear a lot of noise, that's the and I'm looking like, are they trimming the trees in the neighbor's backyard too? Because I hear them. I wonder, do they trim these trees back here? I guess they do, huh? I'm something nosy. I'm gonna take my butt in the house and eat my taco. I got me some Taco Bell. Oh, they didn't give you a date? Yeah, I would want to. I had a natural birth with both of mine. I had a natural, but see, that was back in the 80s. I had my kids were born in 87 and 89, and back then they wasn't giving you all that shit they be giving you now. We had natural births. I didn't have an epidural. I didn't have nothing. I labored and had that baby naturally. My granddaughter, her mama didn't have an epidural either. She was born natural. She didn't have, did she have an epidural? I don't remember her having an epidural. I don't remember her having an epidural. She may have. But child, I ain't had epidural. I ain't had nothing. Pitocin. I didn't have nothing. I had a natural birth with both of my kids. And my oldest son is the reason why I turned around and had another baby, because it wasn't that bad. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But honey, that second one, that second one came into this world kicking. He was like, I will kick a hole in I will kick your whole vagina, rectum, and everything. I will kick it out. He came into this world just a gangbuster. He like to bust out my whole body. It hurt so bad bringing that boy into this world. I was scream, blood curling screams. It was so bad. I was so mad at the doctor. My husband even got mad at the doctor. He was like, she is in pain. Do something to help her. And the doctor was like, she's fine. She's fine. The baby is coming. She's fine. The baby is fine. She's fine. The baby came and I legit almost hemorrhaged to death. I legit almost died. After that, I was like, you couldn't pay me $20 million to have another baby. You couldn't pay me to have another child. My mama used to tell me that the death angel flies over your head while you giving birth, and I swear to God, I seen it. I would never. Well, I can't have another child now, but when I could, I wouldn't. That was the that was the worst thing. That was the most painful thing I have ever been through, and I'll never want to do it again. I was in so much pain, and they would not give me shit because they said at that point it was too late in the game to get anything. The baby was almost there, but I was like, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Is this what our ancestors been through? And this was before they was like letting you labor on balls and in tubs and all of that kind of stuff. I did all that on my back. And I wanted to get up because I was in so much pain. Like I was shaking, violently shaking and vomiting. Oh, it was crazy. I just wanted to die. I just wanted to die right there on the table. Do you hear me? Girl, if I had had that second one, I would only have one kid. God knew what he was doing. He was like, give her that easy one. Show her that it's easy. Because my first child just slid out. I had been in labor, but the labor wasn't even that bad. It just felt like cramps. And then I was in the bed and I had paged the nurse. I said, hey, can somebody come help me get out the bed because I feel like I have to use the bathroom. And she was like, okay. So the nurse came. My husband had went downstairs to get some coffee to the cafeteria. And I said, no, it feels like I have to poop. So can I go to the bathroom? And she was like, it feels like you have to poop? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, let's look down there and see what's going on. Child, I'm having a baby. She was like, where'd your husband go? I said he went downstairs to get some coffee, and by this time I panicked. Because she was like, no, the baby's coming. And she started calling other people to come in and everything. And she got me like situated on the bed. She was like, no, the baby's coming. And I was like, right now? And she was like, yeah, right now. And child, my husband came back in that room just in time because soon as them other nurses and the doctor came, I felt the urge to push, and I must have pushed 2 or 3 times, and this little rockhead baby just popped out. It was not. It wasn't none of what I thought it was gonna be. I was like, I done had a baby. I was like, yeah, he's here. What? But that second one, never, never. When I saw the fear on my husband's face, when I saw like the look of concern on his face, I knew it was a big deal. I knew it was. Never will I do that shit again. Yeah, girl, my mother used to always tell, cause see, my mother was a midwife. My mother was a midwife in Louisiana. She couldn't do it when she came out here to California, cause back then They didn't need no, they didn't have no certificates and training. The other women trained you how to be a midwife. The other midwives trained you. You didn't go to school. Plus, she was black. And we're talking like the 1950s and 40s and stuff. She didn't go to school to be a midwife, but she was a midwife. And she used to always say, yeah, the death angel fly over your head while you giving birth. You know, what women go through during the birthing process is so serious because, back then when they didn't have the technology that we have now, a lot of women bled to death, died during childbirth, hemorrhaged to death. Because we talking modern day, this was 1989. I hemorrhaged. I hemorrhaged after giving birth. And the doctor told me that if she hadn't been able to massage my uterus and, squeeze my uterus and massage my uterus and stop it, I heard them calling to get the operating room ready. She said, we were going to take you to the operating room and probably would have had to remove your uterus to stop the bleeding. But she did something. She stuck her hand in there and, massaged my uterus and stuff and was able to stop it from bleeding. Because I was about to pass out. Everything started to, move slow. Like I could hear people talking, but I couldn't really focus on it because I was losing so much blood. That's how women died in the past. And you think about the fact that you're giving birth at home. You know what I mean? Back in down south, you giving birth in the house. Y'all, they ain't got no blood. It's not like giving birth in the hospital and you need blood. They can call and say, hey, we bring a patient, won't, she needs, won't. And they can give you a blood transfusion right there. They can do that back then. So if the person bled to death, they just died. And it was just only so, they didn't have oxygen and all of the things that they have now. I was watching this young lady yesterday and she was having a home birth. But she had a midwife, she had a doula, her husband was there, her mom was there, somebody else was there. But she had oxygen. They had oxygen for the baby. They had oxygen for the mother. They had, all of this. They had plans in place in case anything happened. They had the Doppler so that they could listen to the baby's heartbeat. You know, everything that they needed. They had a plan. If this happens, we go into the hospital. If your blood pressure does this, we're going to the hospital. If we can't hear the baby, if the baby's heart rate drops below so and so, we're calling 911. Other than that, if everything goes as planned, she labored. She labored in the pool, and then when it got close, when it got time for her to push, she got out the water, and the baby was born. Gosh, it feel like I got a cactus needle. The baby was born. She was on all fours, and the midwife and the doula caught the baby from the back. She did. She said she didn't want to deliver on her back. She delivered on all fours, and they caught the baby because they say delivering on all fours takes the pressure off of your back. That's where a lot of that pain comes from, is you laying on your back. Well, I hope they yeah, she was on all fours. She was like she her knees were on the floor and she was leaning on the bed. She had like this pillow and she was like leaning on the bed and her knees were on the floor and they caught the baby from the back. And she said that that takes the woman that was having a baby, she was a doula also. She was a doula. And she said that that was one of the positions that she helped her clients to get into because that takes the pressure off of your back. I've heard that too, Phoenix. The squatting and using a pole helps. And I guess this position, I guess, is similar to squatting. But when she got ready to push, she got on all fours and she didn't push for long because she had did all her laboring in the pool, in the water. But when I had my baby, they were in the 80s, they wasn't doing all that. They wasn't laboring in water and that kind of stuff wasn't even an option. Like the birthing ball and all of that kind of stuff wasn't even an option for us. They didn't have all that stuff. Not at the hospital that I gave birth at. Well, they say it's best for you to be walking around anyway when it's coming up close to your labor. You need to be walking around and moving. Like this young lady, she went on like a walk for like an hour when she first went into labor. Her husband, took her for a walk and she walked around and was doing stuff to kind of take her mind off of the actual labor, but to keep her body moving. Yeah, you better eat everything you want to eat now. Because when you had them babies, and you ain't going to really be eating that day. I applaud birthing, carrying a baby, and birthing, bringing a baby here. I don't care how you bring it here. I don't care if it's by cesarean, if it's natural, if you have an epidural. I don't care how you did it. You did it. And it's just beautiful. It's just, you know, beautiful that we can grow another human being in our bodies, carry that human for 9 months, and bring them here. I be looking at my kids and I be like, you are actually in my uterus. You, your big grown ass was in my uterus for 9 months. I brought you here. I look at my kids and I be like, I did that. I did that. Yeah, your big grown ass. Because my kids in their 30s, they grown, 35, 35 and 34, I think, or 33 and 34. One of them, grown, grown. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing to be a mother. And that's, that's one of those things that from a little kid, I always had like a nurturing spirit. I was that little kid that always had a baby doll in their hand and always dreamed of being a mother. I always wanted to be somebody's mama. Child, that second one. And he is still kind of my problem child. I be looking at him like, you came here problem. I should have knew. He's always been a handful, and he still is. We do. As mothers, we do great. When I look at other women, you know, watching my grandchild be born, and even though I did it twice myself, it's different when you watch somebody else do it. It's different. You a bonus mama? What does that mean? Girl, growing another human, but just watching, because you don't watch your own kids. Oh, a stepmom. You don't watch, like, I didn't see my kids be born. I didn't, they had a mirror, but I didn't look. I wasn't looking. I was too busy concentrating, trying to, get it over with. So I didn't see them come out. But watching my granddaughter take her first breath was like, I can't explain that. It's different watching a child. Like my kid, when my baby was born, I just remember hearing the baby cry. But my granddaughter, I saw her come into this world, and she wasn't saying nothing. She wasn't crying. And we all panicked. I remember that. I remember that stillness that came over the room before she finally took a breath and cried. It was like the whole room was quiet. Because the nurse was, okay, baby, you come on here. And she finally cried. Because my kids, I think they came here screaming. Like they didn't have to, work on them to make them cry. They just came out crying. But Amani didn't. It didn't seem like she cried for a minute. Like she was moving, but she wasn't crying. She wasn't like, she wasn't doing nothing. But you could see her limbs moving, and she was She was pink. She had her color and stuff, but she wasn't crying. She wasn't breathing. She wasn't, taking a breath the way they wanted her to. So that was a different experience. Totally different. I had my daughter at a young age, and my dad kicked me out the house. But we didn't even do anything, so I stayed with my auntie. I didn't have my kids until I was in my 20s. So I was mature. Well, you know, as mature as you can be at 21. I didn't know, Phoenix. I thought that was your child. I didn't know you was the stepmom. I thought that was your baby. That shows how much I know. I thought that was your baby, girl. That shows how much. Well, you have to forgive people. Well, sometimes parents just get upset because they don't want their kids to, they feel like it's not a good time for the child to have a baby, unfortunately. Like, I didn't feel like it was a time for my son and his girlfriend to have a baby. I felt like they were too immature, they weren't ready. But who am I to say that somebody is not ready to have a baby? And now Amani is 15 years old, getting ready to go into her sophomore year of high school. Yeah, of course. When we see our grandkids, we have a change of heart because I really did not think that they were ready to have a child. But after she got here, and she was my first grandchild too, yeah, I'm going to. I can't do nothing but accept her. She was the first one, my first grandchild, and I saw her was in the room with her when she came into this world. Oh yeah, girl, cause I just knew that was your baby. I just knew that was your child. But that is your child. That's your baby. You raised him. That's your baby. Oh yeah. Well, I'm not messy. If you raised him, you were there for him. That's your baby. And if you call him your baby, that's your baby. He gonna be your baby. Like, I don't do the step kid thing. If you feel like that's your child, that's your child. If you want to say that's my stepchild, then that's your stepchild. But if you're in your heart, that's your child, that's your child. I'm not that type of person. Oh yeah, you been in his life since he was 2 years old. Heck yeah, I would be the same way. Just like my husband has been. Of course, he's not Amani's biological grandfather, but he's been in her life since she was 2. That's the only papa she know. All of the grandkids, that's papa. Now that's not their biological grandfather because he passed away, but that's my husband, so that's papa. Oh, that's his grandbaby. All them grandkids, them his grandkids. That's papa. They all call him papa. That's papa. You can't tell him them ain't his grandkids, and you can't tell them kids that he not. They will fight you about papa. Mm-mm. They love papa. Amani don't. She don't know nobody else. She don't remember her biological grandfather. She don't remember him. And the other grandkids, he had passed. He passed away the year that Duty was born. So I think he passed in May, and Duty was born in November. So Duty, Duty don't even know him. Didn't even get an opportunity to see him. At least Willie did get an opportunity to see Amani before he passed. Amani was 2 when Willie passed. So he did get a chance to see Amani, but she don't remember him. All she remember is Eric. And I will never forget when she first met Eric. And I was like, she came over to the house and Eric was there and she was like, who is that? I said, oh, this is Eric. She was like, hi, Aaron. She called him Aaron for the longest. I said, no, sweetheart, his name is Eric. Eric. And so then she would say, hi, Eric. I would be like, you don't have to put the k on there, just Eric. Just say Eric. She would be like, hi, Eric. She did that for a minute until she finally understood that it was Eric. And then after we got married, I was saying, okay, now Granny and Papa are getting married, so that's going to be Papa, okay? And so after we got married, that's when she started calling him Papa. Because Granny and Papa was married. But honey, she was 2 years old, and she was like, hi, Eric. Me and my husband, we still laugh about that. He was like, remember when Amani didn't know what my name was? And she would be like, hi, Eric. I said, child, you done went from Aaron to Eric to Papa. And Papa is his favorite. And Granny is my favorite. I love when them kids call me Granny. I was watching this lady's video on TikTok, and her grandbaby was just born. So she was doing this video in the hospital, the baby just born. And she was saying, I don't know what my grandbaby is going to call me because I'm too young for somebody to be calling me Granny. That is a privilege. I love to be called Granny. I love it. I love when we out in public and me and my granddaughter shopping And my granddaughter be like, Granny, blah, 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 blah. That just puts a smile on my face. Or she'll text me and she'll be like, Granny, so and so and so and so. I'm somebody's granny. I love that. I just, like, I don't want to be grandma, something, because she said that granny makes her feel old. So she don't want her grandbaby to call her granny or grandma or anything like that, because that just sounds old. It's endearing to me. That that is the sweetest sound to my ear. Because that person loves you. You not they mama, you not they daddy, you they granny. They love you. I'm somebody special. I'm somebody's granny. I love that. So call me granny. Ain't it sweet, Melissa? It's just the sweetest thing. With my grandsons, when I go to their football games and stuff, they look up and see me and they smile and just hug me. Hi, Granny. They trying to be boyish, but boy, I'm your grandma. Come over here and give me a hug. Yeah, that girl's so spoiled. She called me the other day talking about, I didn't know if I was going to want the Lululemon. And she didn't got the Lululemon bug. And that Lululemon shit ain't cheap. We done spoiled her all this name brand stuff. We done took that girl we took her to Disneyland and everywhere. She is definitely spoiled. But that's part of being a grandchild. That is definitely part of being a grandchild. Well, I'm finna go eat. I'm thirsty. I'm finna go eat me something. And the sun is starting to move and it's starting to burn my leg. Um, so it's time for me to go in the house. So I will see you guys probably tomorrow because I'm probably gonna come back today. But I am gonna post the other video showing you guys what Gizmo's little car seat, the new car seat looks like. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.